This is a Darwinia macrostigia that we're about to plant. It's a grafted one, so it's grafted onto Darwinia citriodora, and it's a beautiful low shrub up to about 1.2 or 1.5 metres across, with stunning red swirly bells of red and white flowers that come in the late winter and persist well into the spring. It's a fantastic plant for attracting birds which are nectar feeding. Prizing out the roots. It doesn't need any great, it's not pot bound at all. It's in a 180mm pot and it's perfect at that size to be planting out. Just gently firming the soil and then return the mulch. Again, we are mulching with our Tuscan topping, which gives great protection for the roots, keeping the root zone nice and constant in its temperature. You often see on plant labels, plant might need a cool root run. What that means is they don't want to have great variations or fluctuations in the soil temperature around the roots. So a layer of mulch over the root area helps to keep that soil nice and constant. Beautifully this year, it's all full of buds at the moment, as you can see. So this time we're about to plant one of the myrtles. It's a hypocalimma and the species is Asperum. It is a wonderful plant because it flowers through the autumn into the winter when gardens are sometimes a little dull, and it has a mass display over quite a long period. It's again a plant that grows to about 1 metre across in our garden over here in the east. Being a Western Australian plant, often they don't reach their full size over here in the east. This one again is a real beauty for long periods of flowering in the garden at a time where it's often a little drab. So again, our lovely friable soil here. Pomonal is a fantastic place to grow plants because we're blessed with lovely grey loam soils, and our subsoils are basically gravel, so we have that beautiful free draining soil all of the time. We've planted these on slightly raised mounds just in case we happen to get a wet year. At the moment, that's wishful thinking. Well, one of my favourite peas is the subject for planting this time. This one is from the Witcher Range, right over in the southwest corner of WA. It's a wonderful pea that has yellow and orange flowers. It's quite an upright plant, up to about 1.5 metres high, and it's called Pultona Skinneri. It's one that doesn't mind a drink in the summertime, but also will cope fine with our drier conditions in the Grampians here at the moment. And that one will put on a wonderful display in the early spring with heads of bright yellow and orange peas on every terminal end of each branch. Well, I'm about to plant quite an unusual specimen that is called Kernanukia Georgi. Kernanukia belongs to the same family as common West Stringias, and it's a plant that I first saw in Fitzgerald River in the south of WA. It's quite an upright shrub to around 1.2, 1.5 by about a metre across, and it produces beautiful purple flowers that come out in the middle of winter. I'm just giving this one a bit of a prize on its roots to get him on the way quite nicely. A little bit deeper. It's one that grows happily in semi-shade or in full sun. In this case, this one's getting a little semi-shade from the Eucalyptus youngiana, which is planted just on the sun side of it. The next one we're going to plant is again one of the lovely Western Australian hypocalimmas. This one's a white flowering one called Hypoalma Tettrapum. It grows potentially a metre by a metre, but often not quite as high as a metre, perhaps 50 or somewhere up to a metre. Again, it's a wonderful long flowering subject that flowers again at quite a drab time, as I said before. Autumn is, anything that flowers in the autumn is worth double points, because it's not such as it is in spring, a completely free, it's not as it is often in the spring, a time when we're blessed with lots and lots of flowers. So plants that flower at this time of the year are definitely worth double points in my eyes. Aha! This time we have one of the very, very spectacular feather flowers, or verticordias. This one's called Verticordia Ethelana. It's a lovely red flowering plant which flowers at its peak in the springtime. It's one of the round leaf verticordias, and it's also a grafted plant. This one's grafted onto a wax, and the waxes will thrive in our lovely loamy, open, free draining sandy soil here in Pomonal, and this will put on a heck of a show. The verticordias are things that people in the east don't get to see that often in gardens, and this one is an absolute showstopper. Okay, what a stunner to go in the ground this time. This is probably the nicest of all of the Thriptoine species. This one is called Thriptoine Strongulo. Strongulo is from the Kalbarri region, and it goes further north up into the Uradi station area. It's a very, very free flowering, covered in purple flowers during the autumn and into the winter, and it's an absolute showstopper. It lasts for quite a while in a vase, but the best use of it is to grow it in your garden as a brilliant autumn flowering plant. Again, this is a lovely grafted one, which makes it just that little bit easier to grow in the eastern states.
Yep.
This time we're going to plant out a lovely dwarf Chamalaucium or Geraldton Wax Plant. This one is a variety from the seabird region on the west coast of WA near Yanchep. It is a very, very small growing variety, getting to less than a metre probably, which is a stunner in the garden, given that it can be planted in just shrubberies and in with other free flowering plants to give a fantastic display, in this case of purple wax flowers in the springtime. The plant itself, as I say, would not reach a metre probably. Again, it's a grafted one to maintain that spectacular form from the seabird region.